Hello, hello, hello. And today is not a combo guide, a tier list, flavorless character. We're trying to walk you into the ways of the assassin. What we are doing today is a series of case studies on all characters in Dragon Ball Fighter Z. And today we are covering the assassin himself, Hito! Now this 1000-year assassin. At a glance, when you see this character, he's skipping through time. So if you like really fast-paced gameplay combined with a lot of patient style and being able to hit your opponent from angles that they're not ready for and using counters to kind of be ready for what your opponent's ready to dish out for you, Hit is for you. Now, as always in these case studies, I talk about zones because it's a really grounded concept. So when you're going to hear me talk about zones, you're going to hear me talk about up close, mid-range and far. Now I do this so it's a grounded concept and it's very easy for us to understand, or people who are newer to the game, or even to there's no miscommunication. I'm going to go through the buttons on the floor, in the air, supers, specials before we go into win conditions, potential game plans that these characters use at first glance, and fighting against them. So let's begin. Now Hit, it's 5L, obviously being -3, he can't chain his 5L. His 2L is an overhead actually, so see that there? 2L, not a conventional 2L, it's a bit on the slower end, but as you see there, it is 20 frames, so it's a bit on the slower end. There's a reason for that too, being -5. His LL being -5 as well, so his 2L he can actually do from at any point during his LL, he can do his 2L right after. So this really helps in combos. So it's LL -5. The range of this can hit from really far out, if we go from this far out. So not that far, just about here. You can really hit there. Its 5M is -2. So this is a little good pull for Hit to just kind of stop his strings. There being -2. So his opponent kind of has to be ready for what Hit's going to be able to do next. Being 10 frames as well. 12 frames here and 14 here. So this is a really strong tool for Hit to use, and obviously the mid-range combined with assists, Hit can really do a lot of damage. Hit also is 5H, another tool as well. Hits from really far out. So this for Hit, again, the far to mid-range, Hit easily traverses this space. His 2H, being one of the faster 2Hs in the game, great range, and being at 13 frames is really fast for Hit. Now in the air, Hit has his jump L, which is actually a deceptively good jump L, really fast, and hits from really far for someone like Hit. Hit can actually combo from there. His JM, really great JM as well, so this is really good for Hit. His JL is fantastic at stuffing super dashes, so some more to super dash. Has a great JL as it sticks forward, as you can see there. His JH as well, the same for super dashes, so this is kind of good at stuffing super dashes. Didn't show it there. So this is a good tool for some, if you're air dashing backwards or somehow stick out a move. It is something you can throw out if you choose to do so. So this is primarily used at the end of from when obviously Hits when he's jumping in, so if Hit does this. So this is primarily Hit's kind of pressure tool that Hit's kind of used there. Now that's him in the air and on the floor, so let's go straight into his supers. So Hit is level 1. Goes straight through, punches you down like this, in the air. Switches sides and brings the opponent down to the ground. So this is good for if you have characters that level 3s or level 1s are depending on the switching sides. Hit will switch sides for you. His level 3, the stance. Rest in peace to Goku and everyone else. One of the coolest level 3s, and potentially one of my favorite level 1s in the whole game. Hits level 2nd, level 1, depending on the amount of meter you have. The Heartbreak Punch. The more meter you have, obviously the more damage. So there, so if you do more meter, Hit will spend all the bar, and literally like a shotgun will hit your opponent. Now let's move straight into specials, because we can spend some time here talking about level 3s. Hit has an array of them, so Hit's got quite a few specials. So for Hit, his JS is a really powerful tool in the air. His JS works like this. Hit is able to counter straight after, and obviously try and punish. So depending on the move, if it's punishable, Hit can use the counter on the ground. It's got a follow up here, and Hit is able to cancel to whatever he wants to cancel there. So he's able to escape. The move you just saw there was 236S. When Hit does this, Hit runs through his point. This goes through projectiles, so if one is throwing projectiles on the ground, this will go straight through them on the ground. So what I mean by projectiles, let's take this off. So this is very handy for Hit when he's going through this, and also going through assist as well. So Hit can go straight through. So he goes immediately through projectiles. Not only is he a strong character at kind of dealing with that kind of projectiles and horizontal play, Hit can use it versus a variety of assists. So a very powerful character in that regard. His 214S is the back step, has the exact same properties. So Hit, you can use this. If you are really good, you can use this as well versus them. So you can do that as well versus certain assists and also beams as well. Now Hit's 236L goes in the stance. So 236L, 236M, and 236H. So when you do 236L, if you press L, Hit does this punch that goes nigh full screen. So just about from here, Hit does his punch here, which is an M starter and being -2. So this is one of his primary entry tools. So if he combines this with the correct assist, Hit can really dish out a ton of damage. He's 236 L into M. Hit does a punch in the face forward, so this is a kind of a combo ender. And his H, fully invincible. So if you do it like this, Hit can go straight through things. His M version, once it starts up, is fully invincible, so it does this. So it does have some start up to it, so if you try to use it on reaction, so let's do it on reaction. Let me do it badly. So you can get hit if you do it on reaction. It's got the, but here, he gets tides of time. So depending on the buttons or the impulse you press up, down, left, you can make it overhead immediately by pressing down. So let me switch back to Hit so it looks more visible, so you can see it. If you press down, straight away, down, Depending on how you do it, the inputs gives you different inputs. This really helps in specific combos with Hit especially, where you can get some dastardly consequences afterwards. You press the H version from here, he crosses up. So when he's in this stance, Hit will cross up. Now his H version, the L is even a lot faster, but with the H version, with Hit as well, Hit can throw his out. Just like with the M version, it's not invincible straight away, but it is pretty fast. So here, he can cross you up, or cancel it by pressing S to really mix up your opponents. Now, I can spend all day going through Hit specials and what to do with him, but that's not why we're here. We're here to talk through, obviously, his win conditions and game plans, and what kind of characters help him with this. So let's go straight into that, shall we? Now Hit, one of the biggest win conditions for Hit is quite a simple one. It's landing 2M. Hits 2M. The damage that Hit can kind of get off of 2M from mid-screen with the right assists. With the right assist, Hit can do a ton of damage. So just being able to put your opponent in a situation where they have to kind of react between Hit using his 214L, which I haven't explained because Hit does have a command grab as well. So 214L, Hit has there. So 214L, if you hold it down, goes the length of the screen. 214M starts a bit further. You can hold it down. And 214H. So if Hit combines using He's 2-1-4L. With your opponent having to deal with this really slow overhead, this really slow low. So your opponent, you're thinking to yourself, well, how am I going to get hit by this 2M? But while Hit is using the variety of his mix-up options with his characters, obscuring vision, and the opponent has to obviously jump to avoid the command grab. So something as simple as using his 30 frame option here, especially in the corner, the opponent really has to be really wary when they're facing against Hit. So literally just landing 2M and being in the corner for Hit is more than enough. So once you are blocking an assist that he can make you block from a lot of ranges, combining with his 5M, which is -2, Hit can pile on the pressure. So your opponent really has to guess what they're going to do. And if you combine that with the fact he can cross you up at any time, it's a lot to deal with for the opponent. Now let's go into partners and what helps Hit as a partner, or what partners help him. As you saw, they were using Hit's 236LL. So one of the biggest things for Hit is the conversions from his 236LL. So alone, Hit would have to vanish to kind of continue that combo. Now, but however, he combines it with the right assist. If you combine it with the right characters there, Hit is able to easily get a conversion for a lot of damage. So you saw with Nappa it was really easy. Let's do Vegeta. Do Vegeta as well. So from really far. So right there, as you saw there with Hit, very easy that we were able to get these conversions. So this is what kind of looks for. As well, most importantly for Hit, in the mid-range, he's looking for assists or characters that complement his normals. So these are mid-range horizontal assists that also complement his normal. So while you're here and he throws out kind of Vegeta here in this range, Hit's 5M is a fantastic tool. So while he's moving around, and while Hit's moving around here, like if he's moving around here and Nappa happens to hit, he is able to kind of run up there. So as long as you're able to, these are kind of the assists that Hit are looking for. So you saw that Vegeta and Nappa both fit this criteria for Hit. Really, really simple, right? Now if we're going to see it into B assists, so they give him that horizontal coverage. So Vegeta's 236LL goes a bit high in the air, so Hit is still able to get the conversion. Now with Nappa, he can even side swap. I'm not sure you want to do that, but yeah, he's able to confirm with Nappa as well. So that's something you can use there, and mid-range to complement his normal. So if you kind of throw out this assist will probably help Hit while you're moving around. Potentially, let's see if we're able to get a conversion. So there with Hit, we're easily able to get conversion. So while we're bedazzling the opponent, so as you see there, while your Hit's moving around, Hit's very easily able to kind of get a conversion. So that's kind of assist he's looking for. With C assists, it might be a bit harder. Let's see. So with C assists, probably not with Vegeta there. It's possible. So yeah, with Vegeta, we saw Vegeta. Actually, Vegeta looked like it worked. So maybe you could use Vegeta there as well. And obviously mid-range to complement his normal. So while Hit's moving around, and obviously just really trying to confuse his opponent while doing back steps. So you can use Vegeta for that. But it is a bit on the slow end. Nappa doesn't look like he's really helpful for using 236LL, which is kind of one of his biggest starters. However, moving around and complementing him, Hit can hit from further distance. So potentially you might not use Nappa for that. Now if we go over to Gotenks, is Gotenks able to help Hit here? Nope. So it doesn't look like Gotenks able to help Hit here. And mid-range complementing his normals. If your opponent stands still, maybe, but not so much. If we look at UI Goku, it looks like you're able to do this with Hit. And if we combine this with Hit's 236L, because of Hit's drastic movement, obviously the speed of his movement, and the fact that this is only invincible to projectiles, potentially, if you combine it with Hit's JL, it looks like we can use that as well. So that's something you really have to think about when you're playing against Hit. Now, I could spend forever talking about potential win conditions and game plans that you are going to use with Hit, but let's delve into fighting against this assassin. Like, what can you do? It seems like offensively, he has everything. Now, one of the biggest things about Hit, defending Hit solo, is this one aspect around Hit, is this. All his his mix-up options up close lose to the same defensive options solo. So as long as the opponent is standing, he's 2M. If someone decides, if you try to mix up the opponent with cross up here, if he decides to go for this into cross up, loses to up back. If you try to do that into command grab, loses to up. So this is something you have to think about when you are playing Hit. But the majority of his options, unless you're keeping your opponent down, they lose to the exact same option. So up back and Hit has a real hard time dealing with people actually defending well against his pressure here, and actually using the right options defending against stuff. So if Hit does this situation, really hard for him to kind of deal with there. And most importantly, far range, Hit has no tools really here to chase down opponents. So if you say someone like Gotenks over here, yes, Hit can deal with this situation, but he has no real tools unless he uses this move here, cross up. He really can't chase his opponent. So if his opponent is jumping in the air here, it's really hard for Hit to kind of deal with that. So that's something you really have to think about when you do play Hit. So let's go straight back. So we spoke about there with Hit how he kind of enjoys these characters like obviously Base Vegeta and Nappa that allow him to use these as a win condition. Obviously his 2M is all he needs. So the 236L conversions and obviously the mid-range horizontal to complement his normals. This is what Hit really enjoys. So he really enjoys that pressure, and fighting against him, we spoke about how his mix-up options aren't very strong, and at far range he has no real tools to chase down his opponent. But I hope you all liked the video. I'll see you in the next one. Leave a like if you did like it. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.